Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene McLean, and I'm a member of the Miramichi Addiction, Mental Health, and Suicide Prevention Committee. And on behalf of the committee, I will be interviewing various service providers in order to make folks in our region aware of the many different services and programs that are available to them. In today's Resource Spotlight segment, I'm joined by Amy Burns. Amy is the outreach worker for the Schizophrenia Society of New Brunswick. Thanks so much for joining me today, Amy.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to get right into the questions. So what can you tell us about the Schizophrenia Society of New Brunswick?
So the Schizophrenia Society of New Brunswick is located in Chatham, Miramichi. We started in, I think it was 86 as a family support group and under the name of Family and Friends. And later on, the Schizophrenia Society was incorporated in 1993, and it was founded by 5 mothers who had children with mental illness. So our goal with the Schizophrenia Society is to educate people on mental illness, specifically schizophrenia, but we do programs for anybody with any mental illness and to educate those on mental illness.
Okay, so the office here in the Miramichi has been here for quite a few years then.
Yeah, a long time.
So the services that you offer as an outreach worker, are they only available to residents living in the city, or can anyone in the region access the services?
So anybody in New Brunswick can access the services. So I travel around when I can, when COVID isn't up and going, but or I'll do sessions online. Sometimes I'll have parents just call the office and ask for me, and I can kind of teach them a little bit about whatever their loved one's going through and kind of help them and guide them in that way. But yes, I can go to any area and do programs anywhere, but it's just me. So sometimes I do get booked up, but I'll still take phone calls or do anything online.
Okay, that's great. So I guess I asked about this region because the office is here, but this is a service that's offered throughout New Brunswick.
Yes.
Perfect. So let's talk a little bit about the programs that are available. So we had a previous discussion, and you had mentioned that there were support group meetings happening in the Miramichi area. So who can attend those meetings? How often are they held? Are they held face to face or via Zoom? And what can someone expect if they attend a meeting?
So as of now, we aren't doing meetings in person yet. I need to find a bigger location because our office is pretty small. So I do like to keep them to a minimum of 10 people. And when you do come, it's for anybody with any mental illness or anybody that just wants to come out and talk to somebody else. So normally we're just sitting around a table and having a discussion. We'll say like, what's your peaks and pits of the week? And if anybody's struggling with anything, we'll kind of help people work through it. Like giving, it's like a peer support, giving each other advice. And also we'll do a craft because it's kind of nice to not need to make eye contact, and you can open up a little bit more. So it's more welcoming. So we do meet at least 2 times a month. Sometimes in the summer we'll meet more often. And normally we do have it on Tuesday nights from 6:30 to 8. So anybody can attend, and I love the more the merrier.
So right now, there's no face-to-face meetings. Are any of those meetings happening online or not right at the moment?
Well, normally I'll ask people what they're looking for. Like if people
Okay.
are interested in doing it online, we'll do that for sure. But hopefully this month I can set something up to have a bigger area with the COVID restrictions.
Perfect. Yeah, it is difficult to do programming with the
Yeah,
restrictions in place, but it
yeah,
is nice that you do ask clients what their preference are, and you try to tailor the programs or the support groups to meet their needs. So that's really good. So that's a little bit of information about the support group meetings. Let's talk about some of the programs. So let's start with the Family Recovery Journey program. So what can you tell us about that program?
So Family Recovery Journey is our new program to educate family members on mental illness. So there's 5 sessions to the program. We talk about facts about psychosis, living with schizophrenia, managing crisis. We talk about lived experience and recovery, and also moving forward. So that program was created by the Schizophrenia Society of Manitoba and Canada. And it was just created in 2020. So it's very new, and it has a lot of up-to-date facts and statistics. And it's a really good program that I think people are really enjoying. I've already done a couple of sessions, and it's been really great.
Okay, so do you have any dates, future dates for the program?
Well, right now I've been when parents call me, I'll put them on my list, and I like to have at least 3 different families attend. So if anybody is interested, you can call the office, and we'll provide the number later on, and just say that you're interested, and then I can put you on a list, because I'd like to have, like I said, at least 3 other family members.
Well, it probably helps because if there's more than 2 or 3 individuals, there's more dynamic, more
Yeah,
communication. People get to learn from, each
exactly.
other.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It's nice
So,
for them
and
to have that support, because a lot of them might not know somebody that has, another son or daughter with schizophrenia or a bipolar disorder. So I've noticed that later on afterwards, sometimes they'll branch off on their own and have like their own support group. So it is really, it's really beneficial.
yeah, it is. That's great. So I will share the coordinates, like you said, a little later. So if folks that are watching this want to get in touch with you, they'll have the information on where to get a hold of you. So now we're going to talk a little bit about another program that you offer, which is called your Mental Wellness Journey.
Mhm.
So what does that program consist of?
So your mental wellness journey is a new program that we created, the Schizophrenia Society of New Brunswick. And we've had a lot of people ask us, do you have programs for youth? And we didn't really have anything, but we knew that this was something that was really needed, not only in our community, but in surrounding areas of all New Brunswick. So it's a program for geared towards ages 12 to 18. And not saying that we couldn't tailor it to younger, but right now this is what we want to work with. So 12 to 18, and we're doing 5 sessions. So we're going to talk about defining mental wellness, how to cope with triggers, because anxiety is a big thing for kids these days. Stress management. We're going to talk about mental illness, and we're going to talk about self-esteem. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's your mental wellness journey.
So is that the same as the recovery or all the other programs? Folks can call in
Yep,
and give their name, and then once you have a list of enough people that want to participate, then you move forward in setting up dates and times for the program.
exactly. And we're hoping to eventually maybe get into some of the schools. I have contacted some of them, so that maybe it might be part of the curriculum or part of in-school program. So I'm really hoping that that goes through.
So really, when I hear you talk about your programs, some of the programs are for youth, some are for adults, some
Yeah.
are for folks that are living with the illness, and some of the
Mhm.
programs are for families, friends
Yep.
that need more information. Um, and I'm assuming that folks in this region or throughout New Brunswick can call the Schizophrenia Society of New Brunswick office at any time.
Mhm.
And are they able to access information on different types of mental illnesses and maybe how they can help or support loved ones or family or friends?
Yes, for sure. Either sometimes we'll have people, you can follow us on Facebook. We have a page on there. We're always checking our messages. So sometimes if people will message us, we'll get back to them, and we have lots of information on all different mental illnesses, not just schizophrenia. So we'll any kind of education or support we can give to people, we'll 100% do that. Or sometimes if somebody says, can you help me with this area? I don't know where to go in the St. John area for, maybe some counseling services or something. We'll help them in any way that we can with those resources.
Perfect. So all the programs that we just talked about, is there a cost associated with those programs?
No, they're all free of charge. And we always supply everything that we need to do the program. So we might need materials or booklets, and everything is free.
Perfect. So is there any other information that you'd like to share about the Schizophrenia Society or some of the programs that are available or supports that are in place?
Yes. I just wanted to mention one of our other programs that's really that I think has really helped a lot of people is for the ones living with mental illness. And we do gear this one towards adults. And we have 5 sessions, same thing, you would call in and ask to be put on a list. And I normally like to keep it small. It's normally me facilitating the program. So you're seeing me now. So we talk about coping with the mental illness, how to have a good quality of life, using medication as a tool for recovery. We'll talk about relapse management, and we'll talk about, what are we recovering from, and to learn about the mental illness, because you can't recover from something that you don't know what you're dealing with. So I like to kind of get into that and have that peer support and other people share their experiences. And that's been a really good program to help people with that.
What's the name of that program, Amy?
Your recovery journey.
Your recovery journey. Okay.
Yeah. So that one started in 2009, I'm pretty sure. The Schizophrenia Society of Ontario created that program. And that's where we'll have a lot of discussion, PowerPoint and videos. And I always tell people, I would never make anybody talk or speak if they don't want to. Sometimes I'll have people come in and they'll just listen. And that's all right too. As long as you're there and interested, that's wonderful. So I don't want people to feel like they have to contribute a lot and feel worried about going to someplace new, because I know sometimes it can be scary.
And that's great that there's no pressure put on anyone, because that might encourage them to attend if they know that they're not going to be put on the spot, that they can just simply listen,
Mhm.
if they like. So that's a great way of providing support to the individual.
Yeah.
So how can folks across our region or across New Brunswick support individuals that live with a mental illness?
I think it's just really important for somebody to educate themselves on different mental illnesses and just be aware of the stigma. And I think it's just important too to have more empathy for people. I mean, nobody wants to live on the street. Nobody wants to be dealing with these things. And I think the more that people do have empathy and want to learn about the illnesses, I think the better. And I think, just word of mouth talking about different organizations, and maybe like us, we have fundraisers, buying a ticket from us, or just to show your support, I think is wonderful.
Because when you're a nonprofit organization, you depend on fundraising in order to
Yeah.
be able to provide those, programs to individuals throughout the province. So it's important to get support that way as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the only reason that we can offer these programs for free, by doing our fundraising and we really appreciate when people do buy tickets from us and help us out because it keeps us going.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen so folks can see the information where they can contact you or contact the office. So I'm just going to go to share screen here. So if you're looking to get in touch with Amy or the Schizophrenia Society of New Brunswick, you can always call the office at 622-1595, or you can email Amy directly at ssnbprograms@gmail.com. So Amy, is there anything else that we might have forgotten that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about two of our fundraisers that are happening. So right now we're selling tickets for 12 bottles of Basin and lobster and 6 steaks from Siddle's Farms. So the tickets are $5 for one or 10 for three, and the draws on July 30th. And we're normally at all of the markets, so you can buy them there or come down to the office and pick them up. Also, we're going to have a silent auction online. So follow our Facebook page and you can join there. So it's going to be June 21st to July 6th. And the bids are $5 increments, and it's all things that are donated from places around New Brunswick. So if you want to check that out, that would be wonderful.
Perfect. Can you remind folks again the address where the Schizophrenia Society is located?
Yep. So we're at 1756 Water Street, Suite 103, and our building's kind of hidden. Sometimes people get lost. But when you go on Water Street, you'll see a sign that says Schizophrenia Society, and go down that alleyway and we're right there.
Perfect. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just wanted to say that we talk a lot about hope at the Schizophrenia Society, and that people can get better and can live fulfilling lives. And I think that's a really important thing to hear, that somebody living with a mental illness can get better.
And a lot of folks aren't aware, but when we look at the mental health continuum, folks can have mental illness, but still have good mental health. And sometimes people aren't aware of that. So there is hope for folks that live with mental illness. One thing that I also wanted to make people aware of is a new resource available in New Brunswick since October of 2020. That's 211NB. So I encourage folks to call 211NB if they're unsure of available services or programs available in our community. This service is free of charge. It's confidential and it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So please reach out. Amy, thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you to everyone for viewing this resource spotlight segment. Please stay safe and well during the pandemic. Don't forget to wash your hands, practice social distancing, and to wear your mask. Take care and have a great day, everyone.